Muichiro slashes the fish demon and decapitates it, but it regenerates. He tries breaking the pot stationed on the demon's back and subsequently makes it disintegrate. The Hashira then realizes the pot was the source of power for the demon, likely the result of a blood demon art. As he continues to think, a crying Katetsu ambushes him with a hug and thanks him for saving him while also apologizing for calling him names earlier. The Hashira tells Katetsu to leave as he has to make it back to the village. Katetsu begs him not to go since Kozo Kanamori and Hotaru Haganazuka were under attack while Hotaru was finishing a blade. Muichiro tries to turn down his request, but he hesitates when he hears Kagaya Ubuyashiki's voice in his head, who tells him to rediscover himself. Surprised at the pause, Muichiro thinks back to when he had gotten amnesia after being saved by Kagaya, who had told him not to worry about the memory loss, and that the mist in his head will eventually clear out with matters that may seem unimportant at first. Convinced, Muichiro carries Katetsu with him as they search for Kozo. As they continue through the forest, Muichiro begins to doubt if he was doing the right thing as the village was still in danger. However, he pushes the thought away and reminds himself that he is the Mist Hashira acknowledged by his master. In the forest near the edge of the village, Tanjiro dodges an attack from Worogi by slicing his head, splitting him into two more demons. The pair of demons generate more sonic screams and direct them at Tanjiro, but the demon slayer is able to withstand them and observes that Hantengu is most powerful at 4 separate demons that represent the 4 primary emotions. Any more splitting would decrease their attack strength. With this information, Tanjiro continues to attack Worogi and is slashed across the chest with the demon's sharp claws, but manages to land multiple blows on his head. Back in the building, Nezuko struggles against Karaku. Sekido impatiently asks for his partner to defeat her, and Aizetsu volunteers to land the final blow. However, as Aizetsu attempts to pull his spear out of Genya, the demon slayer points his gun at him and blasts off his head. Sekido berates Aizetsu for his foolishness after Genya Shinazugawa shoots off his head, and the demon responds by forcibly pulling his spear out of Genya, mortally damaging him. He comments on how the spear lodged in Genya's body had prevented him from dying after it hit his vital points, and now he will perish. Ignoring him, Genya quietly chants the Amida Sutra, which is recognized by Aizetsu. Angered at the delay, Sekido yells at Aizetsu to kill Genya, but the demon slayer dodges his spear and attacks Aizetsu from behind with a Nichiren sword. However, before Genya can cut off the demon's head, he gets blasted from Sekido's lightning and becomes incapacitated. Though he manages to hit Sekido with a bullet, Aizetsu responds by hitting him with the spear's shaft, knocking him into the wall. Still struggling against Nezuko Kamado, Karaku gleefully watches his companions fight, and then impales Nezuko through the stomach with his foot. He gives instructions to Sekido and pulls Nezuko's arm off, but he receives a hefty kick from her and nearly loses his head. Using her blood demon art, Nezuko proceeds to burn Karaku and pulls herself from his grasp. When Karaku is yelled at by Sekido, she takes his fan and blows him out of the building. She tries to do the same with Sekido, but he sticks his staff through her neck and shocks her with bolts of lightning, paralyzing her. Back in the forest, Tanjiro Kamado continues fighting against Worogi, who continuously slashes him with his talons. Tanjiro forces himself not to panic and makes it a priority to return to the building, internally telling Genya and Nezuko to keep holding on. Genya recovers from being hit into the wall and continues muttering the chant. Surprised that he is still alive, Sekido questions him. Smiling, Genya holds up his gun and tells him his name, stating that he will be the one to kill him.